A vast labyrinth of interconnected levels guard the fabulous secrets of the Mayans. Hollywood-produced sound effects and revolutionary animation technology create an intense journey of excitement and discovery. Dare you take it? This is Pitfall, the Mayan adventure from Redline Games, published by Activision, released in 1994, part of the Pitfall franchise. This was a game that we had when I was a kid, but we had the PC version, which I never really played a lot. Speaking of the PC version, it was available on a couple of different systems. It originally began its development here for the Super Nintendo, the Mayan adventure. Formed part in a string of franchise revivals by Activision with some other games from the Atari 2600, such as Kaboom, River Raid, and other such things. They started doing hand-drawn animations and graphics and things like that. This led it to be transitioned from the Super NES to the Genesis. Initially launched for the Genesis, it was ported to other platforms like the 32X, the Jaguar, the Game Boy Advance, the PC, the Sega CD, and the Super Nintendo, each one being developed by various third-party developers and had several changes in addition compared to the original versions. It's been re-released on the Virtual Console and a conversion for the Lynx, guess what? Developed but never released. Plays a lot like normal old Pitfall, just more action-y, more side-scrollery, similar to Aladdin and the Lion King, where we can not only move left and right, but up and down in various screen widths and heights. There's a little more emphasis placed on action and attacking than the first game, which was just really avoiding things. And kind of sort of works pretty well. I never liked the controls on the PC version, which is why we never really played it that much. First released for the Genesis by Activision. Was later released in Brazil. The Genesis version has been re-released to the Virtual Console. Game has been ported to various platforms. We already read about that. Sega CD version published. Yep. Super NES port was handled by Redline Games and with additional assistance by Signa Software. Excuse me. The SNES port runs at a lower resolution than the Genesis and Sega CD versions, as well as changes the foreground and backgrounds, but features a higher color palette and some special effects besides other alterations. Sold in excess of 1 million copies. GamePro gave the SNES version applause for having some of the best character animations ever seen in an SNES game. They praised the distinctive enemies, realistic sound effects, and entertaining challenge. Next Gen stated that it run-of-the-mill graphics and sound combined with gameplay that is at best tedious and uninspired, leave it an interesting novelty but not much else. So they pretty much disagreed with GamePro completely. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B+, saying that it was successful because of the original Pitfall, a straightforward action game with a stick figure hero runs, jumps, and climbs up and down ladders. This is far more adaptable to today's 16-bit technology. In fact, this version plays like Indiana Jones in Fast Forward as Pitfall Harry Jr. executes his daring do amid lush jungle backgrounds, stirring music, and pumped-up sound effects. I had a lot more fun playing the Super Nintendo version than I ever did the PC version, but I don't really love it. It looks really good. I will absolutely give it that. And it sounds really good. There's nothing technically wrong with this game. What doesn't work as well for me is when you have games that look like this, I always find it hard to tell where I can and can't stand. I just need something that's a little more obvious, you know?